This Defender was a fleet vehicle, so it has vinyl graphics applied to the doors. Before I bought it, the logos were painted over instead of being removed. Later in the video I'll explain exactly why that was, but I have thought about keeping them on as a way of preserving the vehicle's history, albeit they probably detract overall from its appearance. The decision is kind of being made for me though, as the paint is slowly coming off when I wash the vehicle, so it's probably worth tackling it once and for all. I don't know whether the paint that's been used is oil based or water based, so I started off with some steam from an iron that I found in a cupboard in the house. If you don't tell, then I won't.
And what do you know? Kind of works though. There we go. So it's left quite a bit of a residue of sticky stuff. So the iron's working well. And what is essentially emulsion. Bit of moisture. Comes off quite well. And I'm using a plectrum. Seems to work well on the residue as well. Or might just be able to scrape that normally. We'll get some acetone. On the residue I've just tried WD-40 and acetone, and acetone works really well. WD-40 does nothing, but unfortunately with the blue roll it just leaves the dye. I think I need a lint-free cloth or something like that. There we go. The sock does it. One door down and two more to go. It's come out quite nicely. Rather nice. Just gonna do the last bit with the nail polish remover.
So from all the learning on the other doors, we come to the final door, and this is the one probably I've been a bit apprehensive about, because this whole original idea was, you know, these graphics being painted over tell a story, and this door tells most of the story, because the reason why they was painted over is because these vehicles had to take part in an evacuation and exodus of 100,000 people in basically 24 hours notice. And you can see here how people have tried to scratch off the graphics. You can imagine them using a tool to go in like that, and they've probably given up and just painted over the logos very, very crudely. And so, you know, this might have been one of the first vehicles with you can just imagine people in a car park being told, right, we've got to go, get the logos off. And they've had a go at this and thought, you know, screw it, someone get me a tin of paint and a paintbrush, and we'll go with that strategy. So yeah, very crudely painted here. I've already taken off all the drips that have run down here. I need to get on this with acetone, but yeah, that's the bit of it that makes me, you know, don't necessarily want to lose that chapter of history, but you know, I've taken the rest of the logos off. I think it's better to restore this back to a part of its former glory than preserve this moment of history. Maybe this video and the photos I have of it are its preservation of its story. They can record it in the future, but I think it's better that they come off, because it looks hideous. I'll be honest, it really looks hideous. So yeah, you've got a straight line. This has all been taken off, eroded, and along here as well. So they've got this bit off and they ripped other bits off and tried to scrape in here, but yeah. Right, let's go on. This one's proving trickier. This doesn't react so well to heat. It's really sort of ingrained on. It's leaving residue behind, but the acetone's still fixing that. So yeah, slow going this one. A few areas on this one where I think the paint's come off a little bit. This logo's probably been on 10 years. The other logos may have been on for about 4 or 5 years. So there's a few areas where it's kind of looks like that might be the residue, but it might be chips. Now that could be part of things hitting the logo anyway and taking chunks out, or it might be part of this removal process. But I don't really know, but I'm going to have to go a bit more carefully, I think. Logos are now all removed, and I think it looks a lot better. I'm really glad I did that, actually. This door and the back door only took about 2 hours between them. That door took me 6 hours to get through, I think, because that logo had been on a lot longer. That's the one where they scraped in around the edge. That one, I think I've gouged some of the paintwork by using the plectrum, so I switched over to using a credit card. You can kind of push the credit card flat and you bash into the side of it
across the face of it so you're not gouging in. That worked quite well. You have to keep rotating it and then swapping out new ones because it blunts a little bit. But once it's heated, use a bit of heat gun and do that, it worked quite well. There was a lot of residue left on here as well, which I had to take the logo off and the paintwork and then take the residue off afterwards, which acetone got us there in the end. I've had to leave a little bit of that logo on there because I think that's where they'd originally taken off the decal, left the residue and then painted over that. That paint's not coming off very easily at all. So I've left that for the moment because I ran out of enthusiasm on that door. I spent most of one Saturday working on that. But generally I think it looks a lot better. There's a bit, it's only when the sun's at a very oblique angle that you can see the kind of, you know, with the shadows where some of the damage has gone. It hasn't gone down to primer. It's taken off, like, I don't know how many layers of top coat there are, but it's taken off, you know, taken off a layer of the white paint and it's still white paint underneath. So you can only see that in certain situations, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I'm happy I've done it actually. It was just ugly and awful. On the back door, it's actually exposed all the scratches that were underneath because it never had a logo for most of its life. It had the door had been beaten up and scratched previously, and then they put a logo over the top of that. So it's actually kind of exposed a bit more, you know, the stone chips and whatever on the back. So be it, it's a working vehicle. But generally, I mean, people this year I've shown the vehicle to have said, oh, the paintwork's not as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, it's got a lot of sort of chips and the red wings are chipped and you can see white paint underneath. And because these vehicles drove in, you know, convoy a lot of the time on stony roads, so it's been kind of sandblasted across the front end. So the front face of all the door hinges have been, you know, the paint's missing a bit. The bulkhead's got chips in it. There's a chip in the windscreen, all that kind of stuff. But there's no corrosion, there's no bubbling, you know, there's no flaking paint or anything like that. There's no epic rust inside the doors or the bodywork, and that to me is the rarity of this vehicle being in the UK. It's in such great condition. Cosmetically, the little stuff that can be fixed, but fundamentally it's all solid, and that's what I really like about this paintwork. And it's original. It's the best paintwork I've ever had on a Defender that I've owned, so that's a good thing for me. But yeah, the logo removal, a couple of techniques there. Heat gun works very well, acetone for the residue, and then using an iron on the steam setting seemed to work for that, whatever that kind of paint was over the top. I did take chips of paint and put it in kind of white spirit and acetone to see how it would react, and over time it would go a bit floppy, but you can't really dip the whole door in a substance like that to make it go soft. But anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.